making a decision that today I'm going to spend more time with God and more time for myself. Going to the kitchen and making a cup of tea, just doing it slowly, but like waking up slowly. And that particular day I may not even watch the news.
I struggle to rest, so it has to be everything put down. And family, it's a gift to you.
Well, it'll be different for everyone. The way that my wife likes to rest is probably very different to the way that I like to rest. And so
kind of socialising is quite an important part of my rest. So meeting up with friends or family, exercising, kind of going on a walk somewhere, getting some fresh air, things to kind of take your mind off work and just enjoy being.
I think there's nothing wrong either with wanting a bit of free time and space, because you think, well, Jesus went out onto a lake or up a mountain or whatever, and he was an advocate for getting away from people sometimes, and then hopefully you give more when you come back refreshed.
It's made a real difference. Rest to me looks like taking a pause to focus on God and to focus on listening, to readjust as well. For example, if you're slightly off course or not where God wants you to be, it's a time for you to turn and to adjust.
I try not to look at social media or pick at my phone just for the sake of it. It's amazing how often you do that during a day. I think it's been a real challenge for me not to buy anything on a Sunday. Perhaps to try or even not a Sunday. Perhaps you work on a Sunday and you can't have Sabbath rest on a Sunday. But
something that I'm really trying to do as part of my rest is to turn my phone off as well, because I find that it's quite a bad thing and bad influence, and sometimes when you want to spend that time with family and with God, actually having that phone alongside you can be a real distraction, hearing a little buzz.
Being able to stop a bit or slow down and just being present, not necessarily with technology, though sometimes watching a film together with some popcorn is also quite nice.
Well, even this year, to be fair, God's really challenged me. I've stepped down from all my positions in my church, because God was calling me to this time where I can make sure I have time with him and replenishing. We're supposed to work from a place of rest where we are ultimately securing him, resting in him, taking time out with him, receiving from him, and then going and doing stuff.
But it's important to spend time with him and prepare for the next week to come. God rested, so we should rest as well.
God can be this enormous thing, creator of the universe, far too big for us to comprehend. Yet, he can sit alongside you on a chair like a close friend, and that's the same person. That's tough to get your head around. It really is. But he can be both those things. He can be the thunder and the lightning, and he can be the soft voice sitting next to you, saying, "What's up?"
An extended period of time just to listen to God. Often it will be like in my room, or sometimes I'll go on a walk and just find like a bench somewhere to sit and just have kind of nature surrounding. So I often put like some worship music on in the background, and that helps me kind of get into kind of a worshipful atmosphere. What do you want to say to me? And try and just listen and see what he says. And sometimes that's been when I've encountered God like really on a really personal level or really tangible way.
Sort of finding time alone is quite tricky, I think, in the business of life, especially when you've got a young child. Having that time alone and quite an extended time, I think, is really helpful, because it actually gives you that space to tune in to God and let the Holy Spirit that's in you sort of reveal more of God to you in that time.
So it's you dedicating time to meet with God and for God to meet with you, like being outside and just being with God and seeing his creation. That really brings me closer to God. A certain space that I know when I sit in that space, I can just have 2 minutes.
Very difficult. It's so like countercultural, and so like you're so used to having content in front of you. But also I found it really freeing when I've spent extended times like just sitting doing nothing, or closing my eyes and being still, physically still, but also like just not allowing my head to spin out with thoughts.
And then when you are still and quiet, that's when God will bring things up. And there's some things that are quite uncomfortable and things that aren't nice to deal with, things about our character, things about how we're behaving. The quietness, the stillness exposes us. So it can be very difficult on many levels to do that. And then when God does bring that stuff up, it's for us. He's revealing it to heal it. He's bringing stuff up to help us to be more like Christ.
I think maybe just finding a comfy chair in a quiet place and just being still before I start.
Actually, I realised, I think a couple of weeks back, that the journeys could be a time where I'm spending with God if I just turned off the music. And actually, when I did do that, I thought, oh my gosh, why haven't I done this sooner? Because then the silence then becomes conducive of just talking to God.